Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Last time we finished up free play mode with Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, so naturally it is only time for us to move forward to Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Chapter 1, Fade to Black. Alright, now one thing I did discover at first is that if you actually, if you're in free play mode, you don't actually have a death animation in this level. It just immediately briefly cuts to black, and then it will restart where you died. It's a bit weird actually how sudden it is, but I guess it's because originally this level didn't have a free play mode, so it had no reason to fade to black. And we're already at the True Jedi. This is a level I didn't get it on in the story run through. That's how easy it is. I'm pretty sure if you have the score times 10, for some of them all you need to do is collect one blue stud, and that will be it. That is all you'll need to do. So if you decide to then multiply them all by together, well, how is it that you haven't gotten the True Jedi by that point? I really wouldn't be able to answer that. And that arrow is going to bother me throughout the entire level. It was really annoying me, because you keep seeing it. You keep seeing where the power brick is, but it takes forever to get to it. It's not until much later on in the level that we're actually going to be able to get the power brick. Now, trying to collect the Minikits is a bit awkward to do, partially because this thing has like no weight to it. You move up and down in an instant. It is quite awkward to control these things, no matter what vehicle you're using, and I wouldn't recommend using the Millennium Falcon here, because while it is certainly easier to pick the Minikits up, like in Mos Espa Pod Race, it's also very easy to come in to hit everything. And you don't really have health in this level when it comes to hitting walls. You just instantly die. Sometimes, whatever it is you're using to fly, sometimes you can shoot the Minikits. Other times, for some reason, it doesn't like to aim at them like it did there. Like, I was right in front of it, but none of my shots actually decided they wanted to hit the Minikit capsule, so I just had to ram into it instead. And I don't know what causes that, but that's why I wouldn't see it. That one I was able to shoot perfectly fine. So I wouldn't recommend using something like Anakin's Pod Racer in this level. Just stick to something with guns that isn't the Millennium Falcon, or something near the size of the Millennium Falcon. See, I barely made that. I mean, granted, that I couldn't really aim for that one. That was really me. I should have been more prepared. But you don't get much time to react to it. It's right behind that wall. I don't know what you call that for the ship. So, even though this is a vehicle that you actually do control in the level, this would be what player 2 uses, I think, because this is Anakin's. You die instantly anyway. There's no, you don't see it like move away towards the background with the Wilhelm scream and then explode. It just immediately cuts to the last checkpoint. This is the last one. Yep, there we go. All we have to do now is just get past the barrier and enter. I forget the name of the ship. It has a name, but I forget the name of the ship. So I'm just going to call it Grievous's ship. Or I could just call it Chancellor and Peril, since that's technically where we are. But, well, it's the next level, so it's the setting of the next level. So let's just call it the Chancellor and Peril ship. And I don't know what that is. The vehicle smart bomb. I don't know what that does. Maybe I should experiment at some point, see what these things do. Anyway, that was Battle over Coruscant. So it's an easy level. It's the only level where it's actually possible to get all 3 gold bricks in one go. You can get the Minikit, the True Jedi, and the other one's just for completing the level. So you can get, it's the only level where you can get all 3 in one go. It has a free play mode, but it's not necessary. You don't need free play mode for that level. It's just there for the sake of being there. We'll finally be on 100. 102. So it was this level and Ruin Discipline of the Jedi, I think, was the other level I didn't get the True Jedi in for Revenge of the Sith. And there's a couple of other levels here and there I didn't get it on. The Battle of Endor was one, I believe. I don't remember what it was. There are a couple of others, but I don't remember what they are. How appropriate. Oh no, he hit me back. That didn't happen in the movie. I want to cough, and I'm going to have to cough. I can't stop it. Right, we're back to Ghost Anakin. Like I said, I'm going to be using this guy a lot. I'll try not to spam him in challenge mode, just to show off some of the other characters. But this is generally what you're going to be seeing here. It's what you're definitely going to be seeing throughout the character bonuses. And I just walked right off the platform. It's what you're going to be seeing throughout the character bonuses because it's the best way of doing it, I find. You just need Ghost Anakin and a Bounty Hunter. That's all you need. Unfortunately, while I was recording this, it was the first time I'd gone back to the game for a while. So I sort of went back into my mentality of having to collect every single stud. So over the next couple parts, there isn't really much. I don't do it too badly in this video, but in the next one and the one after, expect there to be a few times where I end up hitting the fast forward button. There was also a moment where I had a bit of a distraction, so you'll be very easy to see which part that is. It's not until the third part of Revenge of the Sith, as in, like, it's the last level, it's in Darth Vader. But you can see where I get distracted. You don't need to lower any of these, it's just to get studs. We already saw this in the story run. That's it, guys, just attack Mace Windu, I'm not here. Just attack Mace Windu. He's episode 2 Mace Windu though. But then that's also a large reason for that is because I don't have episode 3 yet. Since you never get to play as him, you just have to unlock him. You have to buy it. You have to unlock him to be able to buy him. You have to unlock the ability to buy. It still seems weird that way when you think about it. But in that way it makes sense. It's really more the red bricks that's the part that don't make any sense. Now, when I was trying to practice this for LEGO Star Wars 1, and for once, all of the Minikit locations are actually the same. But it doesn't make you any less paranoid that you may have missed one when you're trying to do all of this in one run. But somehow, I missed this one. Like, it's right there. The grapple thing is right there. But when I was doing LEGO Star Wars 1 as a practice run, I missed that. And I backtracked throughout the entire level just to get to it. I was like, right, make sure you don't do that in the Let's Play. So thankfully I didn't. I was like, right, that one is there. I know that one is there. Unless it's moved, which this game likes to do. And thankfully it didn't. Everything is still in the same location here, plus a red brick that makes... It's actually a good reason that red brick is there. It actually makes something that was pointless and mostly pointless in LEGO Star Wars 1 useful. But it's not entirely pointless, because it is there to provide you with the opportunity to backtrack in case, say, you missed that mini kit. So it does have its usefulness, but it did seem like a bit of an unusual thing to have, but thankfully they've given it a bit more purpose here, and we'll be seeing it shortly. It's about 2/3 of the way into the level. I can't remember if I showed it off in story mode. I probably did, but they gave it a bit more of a purpose. Then again, anybody could be coming here and not watch the story mode run. They could just be coming here to see where all the mini kits and power bricks are, in which case, why are you here? What do you mean it showed up in the YouTube tabs? No, it doesn't. How has that happened? Yes, I feel the need to blow both of these up. Because money. As is my reasoning for going here. I mean, if I know one of these are around, I will never ignore it. Look at all those blue studs. Times by 4, how much is that altogether? And soon enough we'll be getting the times by 2. Though I don't think that's not going to be until... well, again, because the images in the shop are a bit... It looks like they may have swapped them around. So it would have been the last level of episode 4, but it may now be the first episode of the first chapter of episode 5. Regardless, it will either be in Rebel Attack or Hoth Battle. I can finally start getting up higher multipliers, and then when that happens, there's nothing to worry about at all. This game is so much better when it comes to studs. You don't have to grind, and it's wonderful. Because that was the worst part of the first 2 games, is just the amount of grinding you have to do. Because you don't get multipliers in episode 1, but everything in episode 1 is freaking expensive. And this is where I discovered, hey, yeah, I have the extra toggle on for these next few videos. It doesn't really do much, but it allows me to play as a buzz droid, which have gotten a lot bigger compared to when they appeared in the actual Revenge of the Sith. I wish I had R4P17 with me, but I don't. I have R2Q5. Now, apparently R2Q5, it was I did try and look it up. He appears very briefly in the background. I believe it's in the opening of Return of the Jedi, when Vader first arrives on the Death Star. I couldn't make it out properly. It may have actually been the Palpatine scene, but it was one or the other. He's in the Death Star hanging bay. I don't know why that meant that they needed to add him here, but that's how it that's the case. It's here. Yeah, Buzz Droid. It's not really useful. You can't jump with it or anything like that. And there's this mini kit that's just up here. This is when I actually spotted it. You're supposed to use a short character to get in there, but because the thing is mainly obscured by the minikit itself, somewhat, combined with the fact that in LEGO Star Wars 1 especially, the lighting isn't quite as good, and I accidentally fell down there, which I do all the time. I always think you're supposed to super jump up there. So instead of using little Anakin to go through this one and end up there, I just decided, screw you, I can't see the thing behind you, so I'm going to switch to Grievous because he can jump high. I wish we could use like Grievous's grapple thing though, like what he uses to attach himself and then climb back up the ship after he gets sucked out. Like, that would have been pretty cool to use, I think. But sadly we can't, and yeah, this is why I switched characters slightly too early. Do we get it this time? There we go. This is when we, I keep forgetting about this part. Like, I was thinking when I was actually playing this, I thought, okay, lift section. Oh no, it's not, it's Count Dooku. Then it's the lift section. Count Dooku first, then the lift. Now this does require you to actually switch to a character that can be seen, so I should have just left Boy Anakin there. And left Count Dooku to attack him, because it alternates. You can hit him once, but then you can't hit him the second time. You can't do that. I don't know why that doesn't work, but it doesn't work. Thankfully, because he now uses... wait, can you use that? You probably... If you're fast enough in LEGO Star Wars 1, you might be able to do it that way. Because you have a few seconds before he grabs you so that you can switch characters. Here it's the lightning, but it's the same basic thing. So, I don't know, can you still shoot him in LEGO Star Wars 1? I mean, he pushes you away for a little bit, but then you'll gain control of your character again for a very brief moment, so that's when you can shoot him. So you don't need to worry about switching characters. I did like how sometimes the droids start to follow you. Like these guys just suddenly emerge and now they start following me. It's like I'm their leader. I don't know why they have that behavior programmed into them, but that's what they do. There's a few enemies who do that. Stormtroopers will do that as well. And I love doing that. There's something satisfying about just being able to shoot them rather than switch characters. I never tried it before, so now I'm curious if I can do it in LEGO Star Wars 1. So just, this is what I'm like, I have to look around for everything. And then to finish him off, you just have to shoot him to death. I mean, he did actually activate the lightning there, because I did activate, that makes sense. He shoots out of his hands, but he did use it, it's just that he did it right as I shot him. So you can see that's why I got pushed back, but he was already dead before the graphic effect could show up. And you have a few more doors here. That one's really no challenge to find. There's a few in this level that are just flat out given to you. So it's like they didn't. It's like this one was made at the last moment. It's like, oh wait, we missed Chancellor and Peril. It's like this level was quite last minute. You gotta, I mean, even in the story mode, you can't exactly do much with Chancellor Palpatine. And this brick wall is here in LEGO Star Wars 1 as well. I think it was more of like a red brick wall, but other than that, it's the same thing. It's just there to trick you, I guess, because you can't do anything to the wall. There's nothing on the other side of that wall. Unless it's some sort of hidden graphic or something that allows that, you know, people will manage to find by hacking the game or something. That's how people were able to find that little Goomba image in Super Mario Sunshine. And this happens to me every time I play this level. I always end up getting too close to the thingies. And sometimes they do just appear on screen because you kind of think, I kind of feel that the camera could be a little bit further away from you. You don't get much time to react to these things. Because you're also constantly running away, right? So those things aren't there in LEGO Star Wars 1. So in order to destroy them, because there's a shiny object that needs a bounty hunter or something explosive, that's why you can send this back. In LEGO Star Wars 1, that thing's focus was entirely just for the sake of backtracking. That was its only reason for being there. So you could go back to the level in case you missed something, which I'm grateful for, but not every level likes to do that. And trying to get this gold brick is a bit weird to do. I don't quite understand that thing, but that it gives it another purpose. I mean, obviously when I played LEGO Star Wars 1, I did need to backtrack because I missed that one at the start. So, you know, I'm still grateful that it did allow you to backtrack, because not every level does allow you to do that. There are levels where you can't backtrack, you know. Largely it's the vehicle levels, but there are other levels as well that don't allow you to backtrack. So if you miss something, that's it. But, you know, in the case of LEGO Star Wars 1, in the case of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, you can exit a level and save if you've collected a Minikit. It doesn't work for True Jedi, but if you've collected a Minikit, you can exit the level and it will still go to like the results screen and everything. So the studs you've collected, your True Jedi, your Minikits, they'll all still be counted. So if you don't want to have to finish, so if you're only like halfway through the level and you're like, oh wait, I missed something, you can save your progress and then you can exit. And you don't have to worry about doing absolutely everything again. So I do like that. You know, obviously I'm not using it when I fail here. But it is useful if you don't want to have to do absolutely everything again. You're still starting from the beginning of the level, but you don't have to worry about your True Jedi or anything like that. And this is where they really ran out of ideas. There's one Minikit. This room is symmetrical in every way. From enemy locations to most stud placements, to those two levers that we have to use, to the Minikits, because the other one is right here. They weren't being very imaginative. Maybe they thought it could trick you. Maybe they thought, you know what? if they see it on one side, they'll think they can't possibly have the other one on the other side. So you defeat enemies and the camera shows it. Or you have the Minikit detector. Anyway, we've got the Super Astromech droid. It pretty much just I think it makes your Zapper stronger. Like R2 Zapper can now kill enemies rather than just stun them. We'll later also get one that some of the small characters like the Jawas and the Ugnaughts can use, and that has the same effect. One of the weirdest ones, though, we're not going to be getting it for some time, but it's explosive droids. It allows astromechs and protocol droids to just flat out explode. It's such a weird thing to do. I mean, it could clear a crowd, but it also means you have to wait a few seconds for yourself to respawn. And any moments where you automatically need R2 to use his probe, it won't trigger, because even though there are 2 buttons to press to use the probe and only one of them activates the explosive, it still doesn't work for some reason. I got spent forever on Cloud City Trap because of that. I was like, what do I do? Is the level stuck? But no, it's like because I have the explosive on. I eventually just turned it off and I was like, oh, it works now. It was the explosive. It's odd, but I can still use the other button. Even then, it's automatic. Why does it matter? And this is where I go nuts. This is where I just decide, you know what? I have over 5 million studs. I think it's time I just go and get almost everyone. I don't get the other ghost characters because they were a bit much. But so, and there's a Tarful. That's Tarful that we should have gotten in Defense of Kashyyyk, but they decided not to include that this time. Same with the Stormtrooper. Yeah, I'm going to get every single character except for Obi-Wan and Yoda as ghosts because I thought they were a bit too on the pricey side. I could have gotten them. I just decided, you know what? Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going, and I'll wait until I get the next multiplier. Because I'm perfectly fine with the current ghost, but I do think about it for quite a while. Get the rest of our vehicles. And that's everything. I go back, and then I'm like, do I go for them? No, I don't. And there we go. That's almost every single character in the game. That is also the end of the part. So next up, Defense of Kashyyyk and General Grievous. Only the other way around. So I will see you guys then.